Highness, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in all your privileged capacities, all the partners, including my MTN colleagues who are here. Thank you so much, Richard, for representing us, Joachim, Rona, everybody else who's here, Sarah, who is a big ambassador of the kingdom. To the students, young people who are representing here, good afternoon. You should have more energy than this. Good afternoon. We are here because we are celebrating you and we believe you in you. So congratulations. It was really inspiring for me, Mama, to actually see the presentations that have been done here today. And I really want to thank Honorable Maria for just walking me through what was happening, the culture, the expression, the various expressions of what the dances represent. And I think for me, when I was just saying that, what I was thinking is, a country cultivates what it honors. If we honor our culture, we will continuously cultivate it because we know that it stands as an integral part of what forms the fabric of who we are. And the celebration and even what the foundation stands for is a testament that we are truly honoring and transforming the communities, creating long-term sustainable transformation by leveraging the power of culture. And that is what we're here to celebrate today. Definitely what we give attention to is what grows. And I believe with the attention and the level of impact that we seek to create, especially with the young people of today, they will be the ones who will end up preserving the things that we hold dear to us and ensure our posterity. Indeed, as I listened to the testimonials from the young children who came, I was really struck by the young man who spoke so authentically and so honestly. And he said, I didn't like to peel. And when my sister came and told me that I need to peel, I said, that is for girls. Leave me to play my games on his iPad or whatever it is that he was doing. And after coming to this, you have transformed a young man. Can you imagine the kind of man that he will be, the kind of father that he will be, the kind of leader that he will be? When you look at all the girls there's a girl who came and said, I was very shy. I could not be able to express myself. I could not speak. And all the different talents that they have learning how to interact with each other. There's somebody smart. I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said that the best way to predict the future is to create it. We can't speak about predicting a more prosperous Uganda if we're not creating those leaders from today. And therefore, our dear Queen and our Royal Highness, I really just want to celebrate, the vision that is here today. Sometimes you don't need many people to change the world. You need one person who has the courage to believe and to chase that, and who has the moral courage to actually believe that the change that they're creating is not only for themselves. Somebody who's willing to walk in the shoes of others, especially those who do not have access. You're willing to immerse yourself. You're willing to not idealize, or even sometimes there are extremes of where we end up victimizing those who do not have access or they're less privileged. But we choose to walk in their shoes and live from there. And by having that empathy and by having that understanding, that is how we change the world. So seeing all the young students who are here today, all the young people, the testimonials that were on the screen, tells me that what the foundation is doing is bringing dignity from a very empathetic perspective. You're leveraging the resources that you have, and you're converting them to be able to create impact. And I think that is worth celebrating. So congratulations, and thank you very much. The world we live in today is a world that I had somebody describing the other day as a world that is full of polycrisis. And there are no easy solutions for the complex world that we live today. A complex world requires us to be less binary. It requires us to be a lot more inclusive in terms of the way we create solutions. And these solutions have to be grounded on empathy. in order to reduce the gaps that we actually face today. I really want to say that what we are doing here today is a theory. It is actually a change story. And this whole theory of change cannot happen if we don't have like-minded partners. And I really celebrate every partner that is here today, whatever contribution it is that you're making. All of it is significant and makes a difference. And I think in this journey of change, we are looking for fellow travelers who are also looking to create purposeful and significant impact in the societies that we are today. Because at MTN, we truly believe that dignity, human dignity, is actually more important to the human spirit than just creating wealth. When people feel included, when people feel that they are seen, when those who are vulnerable among us get the opportunity to participate through the inclusion that we create, we then begin to solve the problems that are systemic in our society. Because ultimately, we change the system because we are the system. Wherever we find ourselves as a society is because of decisions that we have made or that were made in times past. And therefore, if we want to create a future, if we want to create a people, if we want to create a society that is more inclusive, that has the ethos of human dignity, that ensures that we carry everyone along, the wisdom of today is to ensure that we start with ourselves, but even more importantly, we also influence the leaders of tomorrow and even today, who are the young people that are represented here today. That is indeed the path of wisdom. When I look at these young people, Mama, the thing to call out is, you know, yesterday we were having a session, I think I shared earlier with my leadership team, and we were looking at some of the statistics that shape where we find ourselves today as a country. And it was very apparent that, you know, based on what we are seeing happening across the world in different societies, young people are asking to be heard. Somebody shared a statistic and indicated, I think by the end of this year or next year, we'll have 1 million young people who are coming out and looking now to get university education, and they probably will not be able to be absorbed by either in terms of white-collar jobs, or probably have only a percentage of them, a small percentage will probably be able to make it into university or in vocational institutions. And therefore, the question that we need to ask ourselves is, how then do we make sure that they are confident, they are courageous, they are skilled, they are enabled, they are empowered to be able to have a spirit of entrepreneurship that will allow them to be able to sustain themselves and sustain their families and their communities. And I think for that then, it requires us to be very audacious in terms of how we look at how we solve the problem. I think it requires us, and I speak also to ourselves as MTN and all the partners who are represented here, to embrace a leadership that is very audacious, balanced with a lot of humility in terms of trying to understand what is the change that we can create in the spaces where we are planted. We need to be comfortable with dealing with the things that are uncomfortable among us. We need to keep showing up, because this is what creates lasting change and creates the beauty and the hope that we have seen represented in the children that are here today. I read a book by a lady called Jacqueline Novogratz, who I've had the privilege to meet. And she speaks about wanting to live a life where she will die empty. She speaks about allowing herself to follow the desire to create a more equitable world by having a thread of curiosity that allows her then to find beauty as she pursues the path of creating that interconnectedness that exists amongst us as humans. I think the reality that we all have today is either our action, and I dare say our inaction, can impact people that will probably sometimes meet or not meet. And therefore, it calls upon all of us to be able to play the role in the different places that we are, to actually see that we can be able to create a contribution that will be meaningful and impactful. I really am a big ambassador of inclusive capitalism, where we encourage organizations, corporates, to think about your sustainability and the impact that you're creating, that we are creating also as MTN, based on the outcomes that we are generating in the societies that we live in. There is a massive opportunity, as has been said earlier, and based on the theme that we are embracing today. How do we leverage technology and innovation to be able to create change? How do we use it to solve for the inequalities that we see today? How do we drive progress? And I think that when we use technology thoughtfully, it can be an amazing tool also for preserving our traditions and our values. It is also a way that can help us to be able to ensure that that which is important to us is preserved, is passed on, and also that can enable us to prepare our young people for the future that is there today. This future is a future that has actually demonstrated, as we saw through COVID, that if we do not drive digital inclusivity, making sure that our children have access to the same tools, that they can be able to achieve discovery, whether it's of new knowledge, innovation ideas, and whatever it is that they come up with. If we don't play an active role in making sure that this discovery is enabled for them, then they will get left behind. So for us, there's a lot that we desire to do. We can't be able to do it alone, and that is why partnerships such as this help us to be able to play a small role in terms of creating a bigger significance in the world that we find ourselves in. We believe that as we continue to embrace technology, we will be able to drive innovation, economic growth, as well as societal progress. Technology is really changing lives. It's changing communities. It's changing the way we work, the way we communicate, the way we interact with each other. It has its downsides, which we also have to be alive to. But I think by and large, we can actually leverage technology to preserve our values as a people, to make sure that we bridge the digital divide that is there, empower our young people, and drive both cultural preservation and technological innovation. I really want to salute you all for starting this work 18 years ago. I really hope that even as we have walked this journey, we have allowed the work and the impact that we have created to teach us. Because as it continues to teach us, it also then creates a platform for us to even become more, what is the right word, more creative and innovative around how we can even be able to scale this. I am so really encouraged by what I have seen here today. My heart is blessed. I took a video because I really wanted to journal this, because when I looked at all the children who are here, they represent hope. They represent the best part of us. They represent the future that will truly be unstoppable if we continue to invest in them. I really thank you very much for inviting MTN to be part of this. I pray that the Lord continues to bless the work of the foundation, to continue to give you long health and prosperity. And you can count on MTN to continue to partner with you, because we believe that together with you, you will truly and we will truly be unstoppable. God bless you all.